Hey everybody, some audio guy here, and today we're looking at a monster tube microphone from Rode, the Classic 2 Anniversary Edition. Tube mics are fun recording throwbacks, and the Classic 2 arrives in a large metal flight case chock full of equipment. Inside the box, you'll find the mic, the power supply with selectors for polar pattern, low frequency roll-off, and pad, heavily gauged cabling, standard and shock-absorbing mounts, a spare valve, nice touch, and a book detailing the history of the Rode Classic series of microphones. Unlike the standard Classic's nickel finish, the Anniversary Edition looks ready to wage war on the Rebel Alliance, and when set up in the shock mount, it can be an intimidating presentation. Dual mesh screens protect the gold diaphragm, but a pop filter will still be mandatory for working any mic like this close up. Rode claims a brighter top end and a less colored sound than the original Classic. I primarily record voiceover and spoken word. This entire review was recorded on the Classic 2, and I always appreciate more accuracy and less hype in my recording equipment. I get gun-shy around tubes, as the primary purpose of throwing vintagey style equipment into the mix is often flattery. Tubes come with a reputation for subtle harmonic distortions, which we find pleasant, but they often aren't the most accurate solutions in a studio's mic locker. The Classic 2 largely succeeds in that mission of offering up a more exciting sound without completely oversaturating all of the nuances of a recording. There's a subtle presence lift around 12K, which helps brighten the sound over other tubes I've used in the past. But I would still recommend against throwing the Classic 2 into overly small spaces. We like to use words like rich and fat to describe tubes, but rich and fat quickly become muddy and dull when you're also working against low-frequency reflections in a tiny room. You have 9 polar patterns at your disposal to tailor the mic's shape to your source and environment. A 2-stage low-cut filter is always appreciated for taking some of the rumble out of a space, and that pad allows for up to 20 decibels of attenuation at the mic for loud sources. If there's a criticism to throw at the Classic 2, for all of Rode's attention to detail and for how much I enjoy the sound of this mic, the power supply switches on my personal Classic 2 don't line up with the actual markings on the dial. It doesn't affect the mic's performance, but it is a small blemish on an otherwise premier experience. It's a delicate affair recommending a mic like this for spoken word. It's a very interesting and mostly pleasing sound, but there's a slight tendency towards smoothing, and for people with textured, edgy, or buzzy voices, it might soften some of the more distinctive elements of a person's voice. All in all, though, at a street price of around $2,100, Rode has delivered a versatile and attractive solution, which should pair up gorgeously with a variety of applications. As always, folks, thanks so much for watching, for subscribing to my channel, sharing my videos, dropping me the occasional thumbs up or a comment, and I will catch you all on the next review.